baby there. I dreamed of heaven, saw my baby there. She had pearly white teeth and coal black wavy hair. Cherry pie. My baby's kisses taste like cherry pie. I'm gonna love my baby until the day I die. Hoy, hoy, hop. Hoy, hoy, skip. Down, down. Can be. Yes, I'm as happy as can be. I love my gal 'cause she's so sweet to me. Hoy, hoy, hop. Hoy, hoy, skip. Now, now. I dreamed of heaven, saw my baby there. I dreamed of heaven, saw my baby there. She had pearly white teeth and coal black wavy hair. Hoy, hoy, hop. Hoy, hoy, skip. Down, down. My baby's kisses taste like cherry pie.
Gene was an independent man, we all know that. And I just have to tell you that my sister Janice and I can take part credit for his independence. He was 12 years old when Janice was born, 13 when I was born, and he told us over and over again, before you two showed up, I was king of the road. He ended up on his way to be a cool cat teenager, ended up babysitting. So that was not what he had in mind. Plus, our family lived in a 2-bedroom house, and guess who got booted out of his bedroom when we came along? Gene and his little single bed ended up in the dining nook on the side of the living room, so he wasn't excited about that, and that added to his independence, that he was eager to get out into the world in the summer times, even in high school. He went up to Morrow Mountain as a lifeguard. Jack Morton, where are you? Jack? Oh, he's here somewhere. Jack Morton. There he is. Jack, too, was a lifeguard up at Morrow Mountain. They stayed friends forever, neighbors. And then, of course, he came down here as a lifeguard. A friend reminded me the other day that Gene Swink to you, his lifeguarding came full circle these last years as he guarded the life of his sweet, beloved, beautiful Nadine and others too. And so I want to read a poem that I wrote about these last days. I've looked at this poem and I've realized what it's really about is his transition from this world and his arrival at another shore other than the shore we think of. Prayers wash over me, lapping at my feet for Gene. I want to bargain with the waves, salt air, the sky's silver sheen. I want to beg the God of now and longevity, the God of repair, to lift my brother, bathe his flesh in the beaded foam, and float him past the breakers crashing at his body. May he dodge the transparency of jellyfish and the shark's morbid eye. Let the sea buoy him easily up and down in its swells. Nudge him to drift exquisitely the way hawks ride thermals, with and without intent. Let him cup the hands or the arms that long ago rescued the drowning. Deliver him to the affable deliver him to the affable shallows. May he stand and navigate to shore, drenched in what has saved him. Onward and upward, brother.
I mean, there hasn't, I don't know of any other instance anywhere where something like this has happened. A guy who, he looked like James Dean when he was 18 years old, and he was a bad boy. You know, he ran carnival games and skinned Yankees and whatnot, and had a big time growing up, and came along in his, I guess he was in his 40s, and decided he wanted to get everybody back together. Well, how did he perpetrates a fraud on the entire United States. He finds a bottle with a message in it that gets authenticated by experts up and down. It gets on the national news, and he turns around and apologizes for the whole thing and gets back on the national news. I mean, millions of dollars worth of advertising to kick this thing off, okay? The first party happens, everybody has such a big time, they want to get back together. Well, now, it's almost 40 years later, and he has spawned an entire subculture. Hundreds of thousands of people know the name shag dance, if not millions, who would never have heard of it. The thing's dead, man. I watched it die. I grew up with it dying, you know? The beach music industry, something like 75 traveling bands going around. None of that would exist. The embers were burned out years and years ago before this thing happened. The bars, the real estate business, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars have come into this area. And that's just the beginning of it, because what he really gave us was a context to bring our memories into the here and now.
The first t-shirt that was thrown off the balcony, we have one right here. Some of y'all don't know how Swink got his name. Does anybody know? I tell you what, I didn't either, but I talked to Tom Lilly. He said, yeah, I know how he got it. He said, we were sophomores in high school in Albemarle. And he said, you know, I don't like my name. From now on, I want everybody to call me Swink. So that's how he got his name. But anyway, our bond, I met him in the early days of S.O.S, and our bond was really, we were both products of working our late summer youth on the beach. I'd been a lifeguard for 4 or 5 years on the beach. He had done the same thing. It was different eras, but the lifestyle was the same. The kids came down and worked, got jobs as waitresses, running Ferris wheels, running pan games, gambling or whatever, and so forth. And it was just all of us getting together. And the thing I think that we had in common most was the love of the beach. He loved the beach. He was a lifeguard, like I said, for Walter Beaver. I worked for John's Beach Service. And we would talk about, you know, walking on the sand out there, watching the ocean, watching the swimmers, maybe having to go out and get one, and partying and all. And our stories went, and I had friends, Bob Joyner, another lifeguard of mine. We'd get around and we'd talk about how we love the beach. That was the first bond. The second bond was the music. He loved the black rhythm and blues, the race or whatever, what developed into race music. And when we first got down here, I'd always collected records, and sometimes he'd ask me when this came out or what, and I just happened to know, and I would send him books on it and different things. But one time I remember in about '83, there was a book, it was Big Al Pablo's History of Rhythm and Blues, and it covered all the way, all the years from the 40s to 59, the records that came out, what year, 1951, 60 Minute Man and all like that. And I remember him one time he asked me, he said, you know, I've just been looking for a song, I don't even know who did it, but I'd love to have that song. And this was before computers and you could pull it up. And I'll tell you what that song was, and it was written in 1953, and I pulled it out of the book, and the name of it was Nadine by the Cornets. So here was
Gramps' senior year. And you flip back to the back, you'll see a lot of girls wrote that he was a pretty hep cat. So I had to look that up in the internet, and what I determined is that he was cool before the word cool existed. So from his love of jazz and R&B to photography, it was painfully obvious, even to me as a kid, that he possessed a level of cool that you just don't often encounter. Now, flash forward some 40 years, and what I wrote. It's 6 a.m., and my mom, her water had just broken. And he and Nanny rushed to the hospital. They were, quick behind us, and hot on our tail. So Nanny and my dad, they stayed with my mom, and they left Gramps to look after me. Now, I'm not certain, but I don't think that a 6-year-old boy was really in Gramps' purview of expertise. But he took charge of me, and nonetheless, and he took me to Hardee's for some breakfast. Gramps could be pretty intimidating, especially to a young kid. I could tell that this was a pretty cool guy to be sharing some hash browns with. So we just sat there, and I'm sure I highly annoyed him, questioning him as to whether or not he thought I was going to have a younger brother or sister. It did turn out to be a younger sister, by the way.
Swink Laughter gave us the opportunity to come back here year after year, any weekend of the year, you can go to a party and be young again because of this guy, and I wish I'd known him better, but see you on the other side. That's all. Thanks.
The leaves of brown came tumbling down the river in September. in the rain. To every word of love I heard you whisper, the raindrops seem to play a sweet refrain. The spring is here, to me it's still September. Ooh, that's September in the rain. He did not have a smile on his face. And I'm sure when Susan came along, he thought, oh my God, because he was Mother's precious boy. This morning, I can just imagine my brother Gene looking down on all of us here at the Ocean Pavilion, and he's smiling. Don't you know, he was so glad to finish his journey, to let go of all of that cancer, to breathe freely, and to toss his cane into the backyard. Now he's listening to the sounds of the ocean, he's hearing his favorite beach music and the song today, and he's mixing with a crowd of his old shag friends. I see my brother, our brother, and he's still smiling at his wife, Nadine, his 4 precious children, and his wonderful, dear grandchildren, and all of his shag friends.
Smoking his Marlboro Reds. Remember, this was 1993. You could still smoke everywhere. Drinking coffee and indulging me. His excited, bouncing 6-year-old grandson. I later remarked to my parents that it was the best day of my life, and I still stand by that. I did get a sister out of the deal, but I also got to hang out with the objectively coolest guy on earth. I'll end with this quick quote that I found in his yearbook. Life but a span, I'll enjoy every inch of it.
I would hope that at this time in our life, we'll look after those that have not been as blessed as we have. To quote my friend Cooter Douglas, if you see a friend in a ditch, help him get out, even if you're mad at him that day. Life's too short.
The leaves of brown came tumbling down, remember, in September, in the rain. That old sun went out just like a dying ember. That September, in the cold, cold rain. To every word of love I heard you whisper, the raindrops seemed to play a sweet refrain. Though spring is here, to me it's still September. Ah, that's September in the rain. In September, in the drizzling rain. September, in the rain. to every word of love I heard you whisper. The raindrops seem to play a sweet refrain. Though spring is here, to me it's still September. Ah, that's September in the